When it comes to creation of gems of different sizes on a curve, for example, I need variable gems which are ranging from, let's say, 1 mm to 2 mm. I can either do it in a single curve, or I may have a couple of curves between which I need the gems to be placed. Let's start with a simple planar single curve. So I can choose the number of curves. If it is 1, I'm selecting this open curve, and by default I had kept 1 and 3. Let's change it to 1 and 2 if you wish. We can also specify the minimum prong size and the maximum prong size. So if I say 0.45 to, let's say 0.8 or 0.9 maybe. I can also specify that I want the last ones to be having a single prong. The rest of it can be as per the settings. Now I can opt either for plate prong setting or pave setting or channel setting or collet setting. So whichever way we decide, we can play with the parameters for each setting, and a variable gem placement per curve can be created. Let's look at the same thing from two curves perspective. So I'm going to opt for two curves. I'm just refreshing it, opting for two curves, selecting two curves. Now when it comes to curves, I can choose which setting I want. It is possible depending on how you had created the curves or selected the curves, it may come reverse. You can simply flip the prongs for a reverse. Alternatively, just recreate. You can see that I can flip it. If I opt for two curves, depending on how your curves have been created, so in these cases, please check the direction of your curves. I'm going to opt to flip all. Enter. Let's redo this. Select curves. And you see it is coming perfectly the way I would ideally want it. The important part in a variable gem setting is that these gems will be specific to your gem chart only. Let me explain. Let's say okay to this. Let's look at only these parts. If I look at my gem report is showing size 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 4, 5, 5. There's no 1.6, 1.7, 1.9 and 2. Let's look at our gem chart. If you observe, the gem sizes are specific to as per your charts. They are not arbitrary. Likewise, if I were to create, let's say, pave setting in a curve, in these curves, okay, let's look at it how it would come. Set open curve. I'm asking for pave setting. Observe it is coming upside down, so let's just reverse those curves. I'm going into analyze direction. I'm saying flip. Now let's try it. Two curves, first curve, second curve. My view is incorrect. That's why. So I have my front view and I'm just opting for singular pave at the end. Have a look. In no time you have generated pavé setting. You want the curves, you want the cutters to be slightly larger, you can play with it as we had discussed earlier as well. All the variables with respect to pavé setting are available to be worked on. Once okay, it's a very good poly surface that you can now select.